Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Legacy Collection for Deadpool. Here we have the Wolverine figure. I got my figure from ToySnowman.com. Link in the video description below, which is my referral link, which will give you a 5% off coupon code when you first create your account for first-time buyers. Wolverine is in stock now, so make sure to check him out, ToySnowman.com. But I am excited about this one because this one, unlike the Deadpool, right? This Deadpool is essentially a reissue. Same exact figure. Obviously the reds, in the blacks, right? Some like shiny, not shiny, but essentially the same figure. This Wolverine figure, however, is not the exact same as that Amazon exclusive that had released before. And the difference is no bone claws on this new one, and then we get different head sculpts. In fact, the head sculpts that come with this Wolverine are actually the one from the Xmen Origins version. There, so he's got the longer hair. So it's a kit bash version. They obviously have the same the same legs, but the upper body was different. So not just a straight up reissue. It is a kit bashed version of Wolverine. So this one is one that could really be different compared to like the Wolverine version or the X-Men Origins version or X2 version, however you kind of want to do it. That could be your true that could be a Deadpool 2 version because that's what it's supposedly kind of based on. So not exactly a reissue there. It is a newer version, I'd like to say. So this one is why, in my opinion, it's definitely a pickup even if you have the previous ones there. On the side, we get that look at Deadpool there. It is a little bit different from the Deadpool figure. We get the same backing there for Wolverine. So I'm excited for it. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. Okay, so here's the Wolverine figure out of the package, and if you have the previous Amazon exclusive, you really know what to expect. Obviously, the difference in the head sculpts, but you probably, if you had that Amazon exclusive, you probably have the leather jacket version, so you get those same heads on there. So the heads look the same. There might be some minor differences, like in the coloring of stuff, like his eyes aren't as green. There's a little bit more 5 o'clock shadow hair growth there on his chin and mustache area, which does look a little bit better. But other than that, they're essentially the exact same there. So this one's definitely a nice one. We'll go ahead and get in for a closer look at this one. The only downside is we don't have the bone claws. So the bone claws was still only with that Amazon exclusive. It's the only way to have the bone claw version of the movie Wolverine, Hugh Jackman Wolverine. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look so we can see both head sculpts on this new Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the stoic or kind of relaxed Wolverine relaxed, I don't know. But here's a look at that Hugh Jackman. Again, this one is very good. Again, as I had mentioned earlier, no, not that one. It would be this one. You get the correct one to match the head sculpts. You can see a little bit more of the 5 o'clock shadow on his chin and his mustache area. They added a little bit more hair. The skin tone looks a little bit more natural to me, whereas I think he looked a little bit pale in the older version, but other than that, it's kind of the same. I mean, there's probably a little bit more brown in his hair, if anything, where his hair was a little bit darker on the leather jacket version, so that's a little bit of a difference there. But in terms of the figure itself, like the white tank top, the coloring is for the most part similar. As you can see, like in the textured portion, there is a little bit of like a wash, a yellowish wash. I don't know if that's to kind of bring out the dirtiness of his tank top or whatever it is, but it's the same kind of on both. The skin tones are different between the two figures. I think we get I don't even know how to describe it, I guess. So on the older version, I think, is it pale? I don't know if it's pale the right word that I want to use. The skin tone looks a little bit more peachy in color on this new one. I think it does look a little bit better, in my opinion, looking at the two kind of side by side there. At the time, I thought this was still a really good head sculpt, and I don't think it's terrible at all, but I do think these ones look a little bit better. If you'll notice, the skin tones don't exactly match between the head and the torso, and that's going to be because it's a white plastic piece and they paint on the skin tone, and to color match paint between molded plastic is going to be a little bit different. And one thing, I think the head sculpt actually sits on the neck a little bit high, as you could see there. It's hard to tell a little bit, but I don't know if it's what it is, but even when I look at this one, I'm like, his neck is pretty wide, but his head is a little too narrow. So I think the heads are just a little too small for the body that they're on. And again, I think these sit a little high. Not that it's terrible, but just, pointing that out. But we get the 2 head sculpts, so there is that one, the more stoic, and then we do have the kind of raging, screaming Hugh Jackman Wolverine head sculpt there, so that one looks pretty good. Definitely see the resemblance, and then nice, again, facial hair in there, and the brown hair in there. It's brown paint mixed in with a little bit of that darker plastic, and that looks pretty good there. Paint-wise, it looks good. And then just the rest of the figure, he's got denim on there. And then one thing, the belt gets a more matte finish as opposed to more of a shiny finish on the previous version. The jeans are a little bit lighter in blue, but still very similar. They kind of did like the stonewash, denim worn out look, they just add in some blue paint and stuff. They do the same thing here, but the jeans are a lighter blue color, and then he's got just shoes on there, darker brown this go around. Looking at the back of the figure, not a whole lot else going on. So again, very similar, but we just get the metal claws, no bone claws. This Amazon exclusive did come with the metal claws also, but for this guy, we just have the metal claws, and these are nice looking metal claws, as you can see there. They look really good. And then he also comes with a pair of fists, so you can have Wolverine fighting without the claws popped out. So there we go. So now let's go ahead and look at his articulation. Okay, so Wolverine, his head is on a dumbbell joint, so it is going to be a little bit difficult getting him to look up. And he does have slightly longer hair, so he really can't. He can look down somewhat, as you can see there. Full rotation in that head, and you do get a lot of pivot going on because it is the dumbbell joint. The arm you can get to go straight on out. You get a full rotation in there. You do have the butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back a little bit, and then you can do some crossbody in there to get the arm to come over. Not a huge amount, but you can do some. You got upper bicep swivel in there, double jointed pinless elbow, so you get that much bend at the elbow. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. Standard horizontal hinge on both the popped out claws and the regular fists. Ab crunch, so you can crunch forward this far. You can crunch back a little bit there. You got a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart, which is pretty good. You can't kick forward that far, which is nice. Leg doesn't really go back. You got an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee gives you that much bend there. No calf swivel or boot swivel, but you do have an ankle swivel in there. And the bottom jean, as you can see, kind of folds over a little bit to allow some of that swivel in there. The tricky part is you can only hinge down a little bit as the foot goes into the pant leg, and it only allows so much motion. Coming forward is definitely difficult to hinge it up. You do have ankle pivot in there, but it is limited because of the pant leg and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty good articulation. It's just a matter of, which Wolverine do you really prefer? Do you prefer this Kit Bash version, or do you prefer the Amazon exclusive from before? Or if you missed the Amazon exclusive, because that figure got pricey. I have no idea what it goes for now, but at one time that figure definitely shot up in price because he was hard to get. It was exclusive, it was limited. So this is a very good option for folks coming into collecting now, or that missed out and regretted it and wanted to get it. But you guys let me know where you fall in on that. Okay, so definitely looking at them side by side, I really like the newer version a lot more than the previous version. The skin tones aren't exactly the same, so you could use the hands, but the hands aren't going to match fully. But you could always just pop the claws out and then switch them onto the hands if that's something that you wanted to do there. But I definitely like the newer version more. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Does the skin tone throw you off, or which one do you prefer a little bit more? You guys let me know that down in the comments below. But looking at all the Wolverines together, the movie Hugh Jackman Wolverines, technically we got one in the black suit, but it's like super ugly in early Hasbro, and I don't want to have to dig that figure out right now. But we come a long way for sure. But we have these ones. The leather jacket one is still definitely growing on me, and I think I like it the most, actually, out of all of these movie Wolverine figures, just because it's kind of that iconic look from the X-Men Origins movie. He did wear the jacket in the first X-Men movie, and I think he wore it in the second X-Men movie. He may have even worn it in The Last Stand. I can't remember at this point. But I definitely like that look, because I think the leather jacket looks pretty cool. But the tank tank top look for Wolverine is nice. And then again, the Deadpool 2 tag scene, you know, the post credit where Deadpool's going through time and whatnot, and he goes to Wolverine and he's like, hey, one day your old pal is gonna come and find you, just say yes or whatever. It's basically a still image of Wolverine because of that scene, how they did it. It was kind of funny, but that's what this figure is supposed to be based on. That's why you get the longer hair, because this is, again, for the Wolverine where he had the shorter hair. But he was wearing just the tank top and jeans look in that particular scene. So that's why we got it. So you guys let me know what your plans on it. If you separate by movie like I do, this one's obviously going to fit in with Deadpool 2 because that's what it's supposed to be kind of for. This one is the Wolverine version for me, and then this one is more like X-Men Origins or even X-Men 2. But for me, he's definitely Deadpool 2. Okay, so I'm really getting hyped up for Deadpool and Wolverine. It releases in July 26th. It releases in the middle of Comic-Con this year, so I did get tickets. We will be seeing it down in San Diego, so I'm very excited to watch that as part of the festivities of San Diego Comic-Con, so that will be a whole lot of fun. But I'm really excited for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I can't wait to see movie figures. Ryan Ting has said that movie figures are coming, like at the WonderCon panel, he had mentioned it. It's just going to be a matter of Disney marketing on when they can reveal what those figures are going to be. I'm guessing that, you know, the blue and yellow suit Wolverine, he's going to have the cowl, but because we haven't seen that in official trailer clips or anything like that, we probably won't see it in action figure form yet. At some point they'll have to reveal, but at the same time, Captain America Brave New World was supposed to release in July. Deadpool and Wolverine was supposed to release in November. This got bumped up, so the figures may not even be ready for the movie, which will suck if that is the case. We may have to get those after the movie releases, but you know, you never know. Maybe we'll see. I just hope we can get them before the movie actually releases. But I'm excited for this Wolverine. I'm happy to have it. Again, ToySnowman.com in stock right now, so link in the video description below. Use my referral link to get yourself a 5% off coupon code for first-time buyers when you first create your account. You guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of these Deadpool Legacy Collection figures, both Deadpool and Wolverine? Did you miss out on them or just didn't want to get the 2-pack as a Negasonic Teenage Warhead? Did you miss out on the Amazon exclusive one? This one is a good, decent replacement, but nothing's going to beat the Bone Claw version and the shorter hair to represent the Wolverine look in particular. But this one is definitely a solid release, and it's one where it's not exactly the same, so even if it's quote-unquote a reissue of sort of, it's definitely a different figure, so it kind of fits in there. At least in my eyes, when you have a different part to it, it's definitely a different release. And for me, it makes sense because I could put them in different movie spots. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on that. Is this one that you're picking up? Or are you passing on it? I know everyone's, for the most part, is going for the Deadpool, but the Wolverine is one not to be slept on. So you guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on the figures. And what else do you think should have released in the Legacy Collection? It would be cool if they released Cable again, because, you know, he was a Walmart exclusive, although he was pretty easy to get. Maybe they could do the burnt up version covered in ash Deadpool from Deadpool 2. Perhaps. Maybe Negasonic Teenage Warhead by itself. I don't know that people are really going to go out and rush to try and get that. A Colossus figure definitely would be nice, but who knows? You know, we'll see what we get for Deadpool and Wolverine. Hopefully it's more than just 2 figures, Wolverine and Deadpool. Hopefully we get some other characters from the movie, but time will tell and we shall see. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.